Ever pondered about the longest wars in history, or the shortest for that matter? Today, we dive into the latter, exploring the top 10 shortest wars in the annals of history. Wars. They've been a part of human history since time immemorial. Fueled by a myriad of reasons, from territorial disputes to ideological clashes, wars have shaped the course of nations and civilizations. They've brought about drastic changes, be it in the form of boundary shifts, power dynamics, or socio-cultural transformations. But not all wars stretch over decades or centuries. Some have been surprisingly brief, lasting no longer than a few days or even hours. It's these fleeting but impactful events we're focusing on today. We've scoured the records and compiled a list of the top 10 shortest wars, a collection of swift conflicts that changed the world in a matter of moments. So, brace yourself as we embark on this historical journey, unraveling the shortest wars ever fought. Kicking off our countdown is the Anglo-Zanzibar War, a conflict that barely had time to brew a pot of tea, clocking in at between 38 and 40 minutes. This swift spat between the British Empire and the Sultanate of Zanzibar in 1896 was ignited due to a violation of a treaty by the Sultanate. The British Empire's swift retaliation, coupled with its superior firepower, brought the conflict to a swift conclusion. Next up, we have the Six-Day War. Despite its name, this conflict between Israel and its neighboring states of Egypt, Jordan, and Syria in 1967 was not a week-long affair, but lasted a mere 144 hours. The war was sparked by geopolitical tensions and territorial disputes, and it swiftly ended due to the rapid military successes of Israel. Moving swiftly on, we reach the halfway mark of our countdown. Coming in at number 5, we have the Six-Day War, a swift conflict between Israel and its neighboring states in 1967. This war, as the name suggests, lasted only 6 days, but its impacts reverberate to this day. It began due to escalating tensions and ended with a decisive Israeli victory. Moving on to number 4, we find the football war between El Salvador and Honduras in 1969. Sparked by rioting during a football match, the conflict lasted a mere 4 days. It was resolved by a ceasefire brokered by the Organization of American States. Next up at number 3 is the Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896, lasting only 45 minutes. A controversial succession sparked this brief conflict, which ended swiftly with a British victory. In second place, we have the Indo-Pakistani War of 1971. It lasted 13 days, triggered by political unrest, and ended with the independence of Bangladesh. And finally, we reach the end of our list with the last of the shortest wars in history. So there you have it, the top 10 shortest wars in history, each unique in its own way. From the 6-hour war, a mere blip in the grand scheme of global conflicts, to the Anglo-Zanzibar War that lasted less than an hour, these instances certainly challenge our perception of what a war can be. Interestingly, these wars were not only short in duration but also shared common factors. Most of them were sparked by political tensions, territorial disputes, or power struggles. But what made them end so quickly? The answer often lies in the overwhelming force of one side, swift diplomatic interventions, or the sheer realization of the futility of conflict. These brief, intense flashes of conflict remind us that even in the heat of battle, resolution can sometimes be swift and decisive. While wars are often destructive and tragic, these brief conflicts serve as a reminder that resolution can sometimes be swift. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring.